I'm James Barfield with your Urban Connection. Remember, this is the channel that is often imitated, but is never duplicated. Now, before I begin the show, remember to hit that subscribe button and the notification button. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I know you probably thought you heard the last of the TJ Holmes scandal, but this seems to be a scandal that keeps on giving and giving and giving. Or as TJ would say on his last broadcast, keep on going and going and going. And that's exactly what it is doing. Ladies and gentlemen, a fourth or fifth, I'm not sure, I've lost track at this point, but we'll call it a fourth staffer, not including Amy Robach, has come forward to say that she also had an affair with TJ Holmes. And her affair started in 2014 when TJ first came to GMA. Now, they were working together on the overnight shift in 2014. She was 27 at the time, and he was 38. Now, she said Holmes, now 45, had asked her for help setting up his Instagram account and became flirtatious, emailing her saying, I'm learning a lot about you. I might actually like you. She revealed how the nocturnal hours of her job had left her exhausted and lonely and feeling like only Holmes would empathize. Soon after, he booked a hotel near the network's Upper West Side headquarters and sent her the details. When she walked into the room, he was sitting on the bed, she claimed. The pair began having sex in hotel rooms and in his locked office. Familiar story? Which she said didn't seem out of the ordinary due to ABC's rampant culture of sex, adding it was a pretty scandalous place. The pair began having sex in the hotel rooms and in his locked office, and she also told the cut that I thought I was special. So did Amy Robach. Okay. I thought I was special and that Holmes felt like the only person in the building who took me seriously. However, she eventually realized she was actually just part of a pattern, and he later dismissed her like a throwaway object. You hear that, Amy? He dismissed her like a throwaway object. Just like you, Amy, she thought she was special. Now, however, the relationship fizzled after Holmes stopped working the overnight shift to focus on his role at GMA. Now, that was not the last time they hooked up, though. Listen to this. Other staffers spoke to the magazine on condition of anonymity, with one saying it felt like the network only rewarded those who were either divas or adulterers. Another, identified as Ruth, said it felt like everybody was sleeping around. She added the newsroom was staffed by a bunch of horned up high school students who learned how to do news in the 80s when people were still doing blow in the bathroom. Ruth claimed she raised a complaint to HR about an editor who called her babe and put his hand on her thigh. But she wasn't taken seriously because the company alleged she didn't seem that mad about the incident. Meanwhile, Sasha alleged the network was more protective of, let me get back here. She said the network was more protective of the company's reputation than the safety of female staff. Holmes was married to Marley Freiberg, with whom he shares a daughter, while Robach was married to actress Andrew Shue. We knew that. Now, this lady, Sasha, she acknowledges that she knew at the time that Holmes was married. All right? Yet she's still engaged. Now, she also, Holmes also embarked on a 3-year fling with GMA producer Natasha Singh, who is now 37. Now, we already know that, okay? But this woman also had, even though they didn't have a serious relationship, she'd realized now that he used her as a throwaway object. But comes 2019, TJ gives her a call and she says to him, well, you only seem to call me or text me when you want some attention. However, they still hooked up again in 2019. Now, so here's the fourth or fifth woman that has worked on the GMA staff. So I have to ask Amy the question. Amy, where is your mind? You have two young daughters. One is 20 and one is 16. What in the heck are you thinking about when it comes to trying to teach and talk to your daughters about how they should conduct themselves and still have respect? Because it seems as though you have none. And if you don't have it, you can't teach it to them. Now, we know that TJ doesn't have any respect. TJ doesn't care about the children in his life. But you, Amy, you of all people, you want to have respect, credibility, dignity, and yet you allow yourself to be involved in a scandalous affair with a man that it seems everybody, every female in the GMA staff has slept with. What kind of sense does that make? What kind of woman does that make you? What kind of respect you think your daughters will have for you? They will have none for TJ. And if you're thinking about marrying TJ, let me give you a bit of advice. Don't you ever bring your kids into the same house with TJ. Okay? Don't you ever bring TJ in the same house where your daughters are, or you will regret it big time. But maybe you won't, because I would have thought, and I'm going to just be honest here, I really believe that deep down inside of her, Amy has regrets right now that she ever became involved with TJ, but now she's in so deep that she would feel embarrassed and ashamed to admit right now that she made a mistake. So she'll try to make the best of it. But it's just a matter of time. Amy, you heard this woman say she thought she was special. And I would venture to tell you that every one of the other women felt they were special. Just like you did, Amy. And now you find out you were just a part, as she says, of the pattern. This was a pattern that TJ Holmes had while working at GMA and GMA 3. He was preying on these young women. This woman was 27 at the time. Jasmine was 24. And I don't know how old Miss Singh was. But can you see a pattern here, Amy? You were nothing special. You are nobody special. When you were in Miami and you were all over TJ, TJ was sitting back like you were the last thing on his mind. He was not showing the affection that you were showing to him. he was not showing that he was willing to make a commitment to you that you apparently were willing to make to him. Can't you see the handwriting on the wall, Amy? This is just a game that TJ Holmes has learned how to play very well. And you, Amy, have not learned how to play his type of game. Now, you know how to play your game, but you've not learned how to play his game. You're not onto it yet. But hey, take my word for it, Amy. You will find out that you have no more meaning to TJ Holmes than Sasha, than Jasmine, than Miss Singh, and any others that come before you or them. So all I can say is good luck. Now, on another topic involving TJ and Ms. Robach, it has been reported that they are now trying to get work at News Nation. Now, News Nation is a conservative TV channel, small channel, that is known for employing people accused of sexual misconduct and sexual escapades, whatever. Now, the channel has hired one Chris Cuomo from CNN, who's accused of sexual, I don't know, assault or whatever. The general manager over at News Nation, was himself accused while working at ABC of being involved in some type of a sexual relationship. So he has some sympathy, it is reported that he has some sympathy for TJ and Amy. So he just might end up giving them a job because they would all feel right at home. Okay, so that's my story for TJ, and I hope this is the very last story that I will do on this, because this scandal seems to have no end. But I'm at the end of my rope on it. All right, I'm done. Okay, okay. Listen, remember, hit that subscribe button, and I'm out.